Kevin Fleming, MUX, Project 5, Process Designing an App. I decided the best way to do this, to design the app and storyboard it essentially, was to create it like I would create it in Xcode. So I just decided to build it in Xcode and go from there. It's very simplified. There will be things that I would change differently. I just set up some things for visual representation. At the beginning, the user can log in using their username and password. They can join and create an account. I haven't set up pages to show that. But if they were to join and create an account, it would essentially do the same thing as starting here. It would allow them to create a checking or a savings. Once they decided to create which one they decided they wanted to create, they would have an option, which is essentially the same page. It's just a different label. And then once that was done, they would see the verification page showing that the account was created. They have the option to call the branch now, set up an appointment, or even ask questions. They can also, once they select this option, it would take them directly to the dialer of their phone and with the number already set up, so that way it would be very simple. I wouldn't go ahead and automatically dial the number and call in case the customer didn't want to do that right away. Maybe they wanted the number or something like that and give it to a friend or somebody else, but it wouldn't just automatically dial, because then they have to hang up. Find a branch or ATM, it would take them to a map view page where they could search for their location, enter a location, it would search and then display on the map view. Or they could do Find Me, which would automatically use the GPS of the device in order to find nearby locations. That one's actually should be gone because they already have a call now. Once they decide to enter their username and log in, they're going to be taken to a list of their accounts. A lot of times users may have several different accounts for different reasons. They may have a checking account, a savings account. They may have a business checking, a business savings. They may have credit cards through the bank, or whatever the case may be. But a selectable list will appear here, and they have the option to select one or create a new account or log out. If they log out, it takes them back to the initial page. If they create a new account, it goes through this option again. Once they select an account to view, it takes them to the account details page, which it lists the account number up top. From there, or the account nickname, depending on if they've nicknamed it or not. From there, they can view their account balance and their recent transactions. They can choose to, there will be a navigation controller so they can go back to select the accounts. I didn't choose to represent this because it was superfluous, in my opinion. But all of this will be done with the navigation controller, so that way they have a back button rather than having to log out and log back in. From the account, they can choose to transfer money. If they choose to transfer money, it takes them to a list of accounts that they've set up to transfer from, which this would be the account that would be from. I just chose, it's just displayed this way with the select view. They'll actually have a list that they can select, and then a scroll list will come up with the accounts. They choose the account, they close it, that account is selected. That would be they would start with their from account and then their to account, where they want to transfer it from and to, and then they want to pick a date that they want to have the transfer happen. A lot of times it's not necessarily one time. So they would have the option to select multiple dates. Say they got paid every week, and every week they wanted to transfer $100 to their savings account. They could set up, there would actually be an option to set up multiple dates or a recurring day. Once the date picker has been chosen, I didn't have enough room to actually put it on this page, but there would be the option. Once they pick all that, they can choose the amount to be transferred. They enter it in, and then they can submit or cancel. Cancel takes them back to the previous page. If they submit, it takes them to the transfer and outcome page. It tells them whether the transfer was successful or not, and when it'll be available. Because you can't, most of the time you can't just select an account for security reasons. They don't want you to just be able to pull money in and out of some random person's account. You have the option to create a new transfer account, which takes you to this page, which allows you to enter the routing number and the account number, and then gives you the option to nickname the account in order for you to better differentiate between accounts. Once that's done, you click verify, and it verifies that the account is yours to transfer money either from or to as an added security measure. From there, you also have the option to view statements. Once you do, if you choose to view statements for the account, you can go through and select the date. There would be a statement date up here rather than just the generic scroll list. You'd have the option to scroll through the dates of the statements. Once you select that, the statement would appear here, and naturally with a navigation controller you could go back. But that is essentially what the app would allow you to do. From there, you have everything you really need to access from the bank and from your banking app. So that would be everything the banking app would allow you to do.